Hello, welcome, or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. Clearly, we're doing something a little bit different. This has been something that's been working its way through me for the last couple months, and I feel like I kind of finally have the energy to put it out there. Forgive me if you can hear me breathing kind of hard. I'm nervous. That's also been part of the process, getting over the fear, because new shit, right? Scary. And I don't really think that there's anything else kind of out there like this, which is the heretic in me. So before I kind of get ahead of myself, clearly we are talking about human design. Maybe that wasn't clear, but okay. We're talking about human design. And specifically for the purpose of these readings, we are going to be talking about your human design profile. Now, this may be the first time that you're hearing about human design, maybe not. I mean, you can be kind of diving into it too. I have been doing a deep dive into it. And what made me take that dive is my profile. I'm a 5/1, which is a heretic investigator, which is also where part of my name comes from, the name of this channel and the name of my business. So, reading about my profile, I mean, literal tears were were coming out of my eyes, because it was the first time and probably ever in my life that I had actually felt seen and understood, and I didn't feel inherently flawed, and I didn't feel crazy, for having the experiences that I had had. So from there, and with the 5/1 profile, it is very hard to be seen. So again, just feeling that recognition, hell yeah. I was like, give me everything. I need to know absolutely everything. And I don't, I'm not an authority on this. I'm not claiming to be, I am claiming to be a heretic and bringing more information. I do still have an intention of doing the Zodiac sign readings, but this is just a different way for you to get information regarding your situation. And that's what my intention is, because also the one line in my profile loves investigation and just kind of having that information. That's not everybody, of course, but like I said, it's something different outside of your sun, moon, and rising sign. So, the readings are going to be the same. I mean, we'll get to, of course, the good stuff, but I just kind of want to set my intentions here and what you can expect. Really, the only thing that's changing is, like I said, we're not going to go by Zodiac. We're going to go by human design profile. At the beginning of each profile reading, I do have an intention of reading some new information. Like clearly, like I have the definitive book of human design here, which comes from the School of Human Design, which I did not attend, but I bought the book. And I think it's, of course, just starting at the source, right? Or not. Okay. And then, I have a few other books. There's a few other blogs, and things. So, I do intend to just kind of give a bit more information on each profile every time I put these readings out. And then from there, we're just going to go into like the regular tarot reading. So that part is going to stay the same. Now, if you know your profile, you can just skip ahead because you would be here because this is your profile. But if you don't know your profile yet, I'll link the website below. I use Joven Archive because, again, you know, it's kind of coming from the original. There are plenty of options when it comes to getting your human design. So, I mean, you can just Google human design chart and pick one. Of course, I mean, pick one that's free. I think for the most part they are, most of them, all of them. So you'll need the same information you need for your natal chart. So you'll need your birth date, the time, and location. Now with human design, the time does need to be as accurate as you can get it, because there are certain things that can change based on the time. So again, you would want to try to get that as accurate as you can. If you don't know the exact time, maybe you know that you were born sometime in the morning, maybe you know that you were born sometime in the afternoon or evening or overnight. You know, I mean, you can kind of use a general time that correlates to the time of day. Like morning, you can use 6 or 8 o'clock, afternoon, noon or 2 o'clock, evening, 6 or 8 o'clock, overnight, you know, I don't know, 1 or 3 o'clock. And if you don't really know that, like I have a friend who has no clue, like the time isn't even on her birth certificate, but she has always had this feeling that she was born in the morning and has just kind of rolled with that. So, you know, but you'll put in your information and you'll see your body graph. This one is mine. Aw. Now, your body graph is going to be unique to you. I don't think that it's impossible, but I think it's incredibly rare for somebody else to have your same exact design. There might be similarities, but as far as it being exact, that's pretty rare. Like my cousin and I have the same centers defined, which means that those centers are colored in. And we have some of the same channels and gates, which are those red or black areas between the centers, but it's not exactly the same. But there's a lot of similarities between us, but of course there's a lot of differences. So you'll see on the right or the left side, there's those numbers in red, that's the design side. And on the left, there's the numbers in black, which is your personality. And those numbers are the correlating gates, which again are the red and black lines between the centers. And the centers are those areas that are either colored in, there's 9 of them. They're either colored in or defined, or they are white or undefined. You can have all of them colored in, you could have none of them colored in, and you can have any combination of that in between. So it depending on how your screen looks, you might have to scroll down a little bit, or it might be to the right, but you'll see that there's listed a type, which would be either a manifestor, a generator, a manifesting generator, a projector, or a reflector. You'll see definition, you'll see strategy, you'll see your profile, your inner authority, your not self theme, and your incarnation cross. Now, we are focusing on your profile. Some would say, and I would of course agree with them, that one of the more important aspects of human design is understanding your type, your strategy, and authority, because that is how it is best for you to operate in the world or navigate life in the best way suited for your personal design. So, I mean, you can just Google or jump on YouTube and type in manifestor type, or just manifestor human design, you know, whatever your type is, manifesting generator, you know, whatever your type is, just type that information. I mean, there's so much good information. Of course, you can buy books if that's what you're into. However, I will leave that more to you for the time being. And like I said, we are going to focus on your profile. And before we get into the readings, and actually before I even skip too far ahead, there are 12 profiles. And those are 1-3, which is the Investigator Martyr, 1-4, which is Investigator Opportunist, 2-4, the Hermit Opportunist, 2-5, Hermit Heretic, 3-5, Martyr Heretic, 3-6, Martyr Role Model, 4-6, Opportunist Role Model, 4-1, Opportunist Investigator, 5-1, Heretic Investigator, 5-2, Heretic Hermit, 6-2, Role Model Hermit, and 6-3, Role Model Martyr. So again, you'll find that there once you pull up your chart. And if you are new to human design, I just, because some people are like, what the hell? What is that? And again, I think that, I could talk for hours about what it is. And maybe someday I will. But for now, I just wanted to give this little snippet out of the definitive book of human design. It says the human design system is not a belief system. It does not require that you believe in anything. It is neither stories nor philosophy. It is a concrete map to the nature of being, a mapping of your genetic code. This ability to be able to detail the mechanics of our nature in such depth is obviously profound because it reveals our complete nature in all its subtleties. Excuse me. Human design opens a door to the potential of self-love, a love of life, and the love of others through understanding. Ra'uruhu. And that's the guy that channeled human design back in 1980 something. So that's just a little snippet about human design. And we're going to get on to the actual reading. Hello, welcome. So you are the 1-4 profile, the Investigator Opportunist. And I believe that I mentioned in the intro that I'm just going to read a bit about the profile from the definitive book of human design. My intention, kind of every video that I put out, I do want to, kind of pull from different sources and just kind of build on, of course, some of the information is probably going to be redundant, of course, but just to kind of pull from different sources and kind of build on the information. So the 1-4 profile is the Investigator Opportunist. And like I said, I'm just going to read this background bit here, and then we will move into the tarot reading portion. So the combination of the Investigator and Opportunist weaves introspection together with a natural gift for establishing close relationships. 1-4s have an inner urge to creatively externalize their investigative findings to people they know, while the conscious investigator is focused on getting to the bottom of what makes things work. The transpersonal opportunist is looking for ways to get that knowledge out. To do so, they make friends with people as part of a personal network that will ultimately become the recipients of their message. Investigative opportunists have a special platform from which to influence others. For once they secure a solid foundation and connect with a network, they become engaging authorities themselves. There is something very special about this profile, as both the first line and fourth lines are in harmony with each other, and even though they operate in different ways, Both are foundation lines. The first line establishes the ground floor foundation of the house, and the fourth line is the foundation for the second floor. This is a special circumstance in that both lines of the profile are essentially interested in the same thing. There is a harmony between what they investigate and what they externalize. And what they want to externalize is what they want to investigate. Harmony profiles, the 1-4-2-5-3-6-4-1-5-2-6-3, are a minority in the population and play a role in the world as innocent agents of transition by bridging information and the other 6 profiles to each other. I love that. Does that sound like you? Interesting. I love the part about the inner urge to creatively externalize their findings to people they know. Like, you know, you have this, you may kind of find that you have this inherent urge to learn about things or learn about new things, but then you want to share those findings with other people. And that's where your type would come into play, because that would tell you more about how it would be best to share that information. Like if you are a projector, it would be waiting for the invitation from somebody else in order to share. So, you know, like, you know that you have this information, right? You've been investigating it. It's something that you're passionate about. And somebody else may recognize that in you and ask you about it. So they invite you to share. And sometimes waiting for that invitation is torture. Because you know, right? Like you're sitting on this golden egg of information. But if you share it without the invitation, like I said, we're talking about projector specifically. But if you share without having that invitation, it'll kind of fall on deaf ears. Like it won't hit the way that it's supposed to. But on the other side of things, if you are a manifester, you don't wait for the invitation, you inform other people. So, you know, like you have the knowledge, you have the network, and when you recognize the need, like let's say, you know, you're a splenic manifester, when it feels good to you and, you know, like you kind of get that intuitive hit, then you share, you know, with your network or the people around you. Okay. I don't really have like a plan. I'm just shuffling and then I'll split the deck. I realize that like the intro was a little bit longer, so I don't want to make this part like super duper long, at least this time. Okay. All right. We have the 3 of Cups, talking about network. 5 of Stones, Harvest of Stones, 2 of Cups, 5 of Cups, and the 6 of Thunder, or the 6 of Swords. So, let's work our way through this. I think this is actually really cool. And honestly, like even like the 1-3 reading that I did before this, like it seems like the messages just kind of seem to be so perfect for the profile that we're talking about, which is just filling my cup. So we're starting with the 3 of Cups, which is exactly to me what the 4th line talks about. Like it talks about having that network, that community, the people around you, right? That's what the 3 of Cups is. I mean, the 3 of Cups also talks about kind of this kind of celebration type energy. Clearly, like kind of by their postures there's some sort of praise or celebration going on there. But they're in it together, right? Like they're all kind of coming together for the same purpose. And then we have the 2 of Cups below that. The 2 of Cups talks about union and harmony. And, of course, a lot of people talk about the 2 of Cups as like a soulmate card or the equivalent to the Lover's card. And sure, it can absolutely be that. But it's also about, because in the imagery here, both people are being served. Like there's this balance. That's happening here. This mirror type thing, right? And how that's causing this flower to bloom between. So and again, like even talking about how, the 1-4 has this kind of inherent need to share the knowledge that they gain with other people. That's what I see this 2 of Cups as, sharing. And by you sharing your knowledge, not only are other people benefiting from that, but it's almost kind of like you're fulfilling your quote unquote purpose. One of them, anyway. And people are benefiting from that. Or maybe even rejoicing, or maybe even celebrating, the knowledge. This could be the fantasy, like this could be the, kind of what you imagine. Like if this isn't something that you're feeling right now, because we have 2 5s right in the middle. So if this is something that you're like, man, I wish I had this, then the 2 cards on the end here are saying that it is possible. And of course it is. So then, like I said, we have the 5 of Stones and the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Stones, or it's the 5 of Pentacles. You could feel like maybe you're lacking resources. Because the 5s do talk about lack in a certain sense, like, but they are also transitionary energies. It's kind of that like sticky place between that happens between change. This could even be like you hiding out. Like maybe there's like kind of some sort of suppression thing that's happening, and maybe you don't want to be seen right now. Because, you know, there's this turtle here, and then this figure is poking their head in the water, like kind of looking for you, right? And, you know, maybe kind of whatever this mood is, and maybe it's just, you know, the Five of Cups here talks about being depleted. Because in this depiction of the Five of Cups, all of the cups, you know, it's kind of like they've turned their back on all of the cups. Generally, in the traditional sense, the two cups are usually in front of the figure, and they're looking at the three cups, so they don't even really see the two. But this figure isn't looking at any of them. It's like, you know, we tried these three cups, didn't like them, so just decided that they're all gonna suck. So fuck all of them. Like, and I'm sad about it, you know? Like I feel disappointed. I feel let down or whatever, right? It's interesting because I even feel a little lost in this center section here. Like, maybe you are feeling like, you know, you're worried that the things that you're interested in, or the thing that maybe you have been investigating or researching, or, you know, kind of developing a skill on, like maybe you feel like it's not going to be well received, or that it's not going to either tangibilize or be something that you would be able to monetize if that's what you want to do. And I'm only saying the monetize part because the pentacles deal with money. But again, you know, I mean, the fives are energies to move through. It's absolutely perfect that you are considering the pros and the cons, right? And kind of sifting through those things. And it's fine to turn your back on the things for a minute, just to kind of collect yourselves. But also, I mean, remember that there are still two cups there. So even though the three cups that have already been spilt, that's already done, you know, recognize that there are still those two cups there that are yet to be explored. And still, you know, like with this figure here, there is an audience for whatever it is. Whether, you know, like you see it or not, you know, there are people that are searching for the thing that you can share. This could even be, you know, because there was a section in there that was talking about kind of needing to secure a solid foundation in knowledge, and then connect to a network. So, you know, again, I mean, like this could even be maybe just feeling a little bit insecure about your foundation, and maybe feeling like, you know, people aren't going to get it, or it's not going to be well received. If I've already said that, I apologize. However, we have the Harvest of Stones and the Six of Thunder. And what I think is so cool is, both of these cards have rainbows on them. The first card had this rainbow up here. There's, kind of rainbows around these people. And it, kind of goes away here in the middle, and then it reappears. And rainbows aren't possible without kind of going through a storm anyway, right? And I also love how these are two different suits. Like thunder is swords, the stones are pentacles, and they both have rainbows on them. And this is the second time so far that the Harvest of Stones has turned up in this exact position, which is interesting also. And this is the second time that I've seen the Lover's card out. But the King of Pentacles talks about, it's the highest expression of that suit. And Pentacles, again, it talks about money, time, knowledge, abundance. There's a leadership quality that comes with the King of Pentacles also, because that's what kings are, right? So it's embodying that energy of the king. So, even in this card, there are two figures. So this would be, somebody who is an authority on something, sharing their knowledge with people who are not the authorities. This could even be working with children. But this is also almost like, again, like embodying, like really understanding that it is part of your design to almost kind of become an expert in something. Like, that's kind of what you investigate. You investigate these things and in order to really understand them. And that's how you get that firm foundation under you. And then you share them, or you share that knowledge and expertise with other people. So you would be an authority in the area. What did it say? Something about, securing solid foundations and connecting to a network is how you become an engaging authority. And then the Six of Thunder, the Six of Swords here, that talks about movement. Thunder with swords, it has to do with our thoughts. So, and with the Six of Swords, it's always kind of depicted as a figure in a boat, being guided from choppy waters to more kind of peaceful, still waters, right? And this figure is being guided on a whale. So it's like, kind of the universe, like, you're just kind of being guided to where you need to go, like to where your knowledge is going to be the best received. And again, that does kind of also come into play with your strategy and authority. So again, even just another reminder to look into that. But it's kind of like, once you step into the authority, like once you step into your, like understanding that your profile is here to understand things by investigating them, because they even talked about like figuring out how things work, right? And then sharing that with other people. So it's kind of like, once you accept that, and maybe this is like some level of conditioning, like, maybe a parent or a guardian kind of suppressed that in you when you were younger. And that's why you've turned your back on kind of having that passion for investigating things, and maybe why like you're hesitant to share that knowledge with other people. And I'm sorry if that is what happened. And that is also, you know, kind of a part of human design too, is this deconditioning, because nobody escapes childhood without conditioning. It's just impossible. So, you know, there is this recognition that, oh my gosh, you know, like I was saying about even my profile, right? Like there is this recognition, like, holy shit, that explains why I have this kind of inherent need to want to understand things. And then after that, you know, I have this inherent need to want to share what I know with other people. But again, you know, like maybe that has been suppressed by guardians or adults in your life when you were a kid, or even like in high school, whatever, right? Like, you know, if you got like really pumped up and excited about something and you were just kind of shot down about it, you know, I mean, that would cause anybody to kind of turn their back on the thing. However, you know, like on the other side of this, like if you move through this conditioning or deconditioning, on the other side of this is, you know, this beautiful expression of, you know, like leadership and really kind of stepping into your own power. And, you know, allowing that to kind of guide you to where you're most needed, almost like where your knowledge is going to have the most impact. Because we need you, you know, like humanity, we need every profile, but, you know, like we're talking about you right now. So we need your knowledge on what you are passionate about. And then we have the Lovers here at the bottom of the deck, just to kind of wrap things up here. The Lovers, you know, I mean, it does talk about choices. And on this card, there's the 2 butterflies. So there's this kind of transformation action going on, but it's very much about yin and yang. The balance between, you know, masculine and feminine and kind of the dance that they do. And, you know, if we are relating it to the 2 of Cups, it's 50-50, like it is reciprocal. Like, you know, what the information that you're sharing with other people is well received. And by that being well received, you are getting this feeling of fulfillment. This could also just kind of be finding that passion. Like, what is the thing? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to investigate every single thing, right? But, you know, like maybe it is just kind of honing in on that one thing that you are passionate about, and maybe you want to even learn a little bit more about, or even, you know, kind of start talking about or sharing about. And it would bring about, you know, harmony within yourself. It would bring, you know, it could bring harmony with a group of people. Beautiful. This has been so cool. And if you have stayed this long, I'm so grateful that you did. And thank you so much for being on this journey with me. And I am so happy to be on the journey with you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.